In this video, I'm gonna go over 7 steps that you have to take if you want to become a prime contractor. It can apply to roofing business or any other construction business. If you are currently doing work for other subcontractors, you are in B2B business and it takes huge steps to become a contractor yourself. Let's go. Louis from Jacksonville inspired me to make this video. He recently called me last week. He's a student of roofing school. And he asked me this question, Dmitry, how do I find jobs? I want to be a subcontractor. I want to work for other companies, but I also want to sell my own jobs. And my first advice is, before we even go to 7 steps, is you have to ask yourself, is that what you want? Because being a subcontractor is B2B business model. Being a contractor and finding your own jobs, it's B2C, business to consumer. Completely 2 different business models. Unfortunately, I don't think you can be successful doing both. You have to pick your lane. You can be very successful being a subcontractor, but you have to scale it. And you obviously can be successful being a contractor. And another thing too, many subcontractors are not business owners. You're glorified laborers. If you have only one employee or partner with you and you only work for one company, unfortunately, maybe you have been tricked to think that you're the business owner. Just because you have LLC and the work comp, on paper, you're the business, but in reality, in the business world, you're just glorified employee. It's good that you have everything in order. It's good that you have LLC. It protects you. It's good that you have that work comp. And it's good that you're getting paid higher rate than other employees per se. But in reality, if we talk about organization, your capacity, and what it takes for you to run your operation, it's not much different than just being an employee. It's just different form of employment, if you will. You're probably 1099 employee and not really a business owner. Now, if we talk about being a business owner, as a subcontractor, you can run 10-20 crews and you can actually make even more money than some contractors do. So just make the decision. Write down pros and cons for being a sub and being business owner. But when you make the decision and you finally ready to quit your contractors and go after your own jobs, here's my 7 steps. Number 1, you want to file your LLC. I recommend you hire someone to help you with the contracts, with the paperwork, with the insurances. Don't buy just generic policy. You want to make sure that you are protected. You want to make sure that your CPA will file your tax paperwork properly. Your lawyer will file everything with the state that requires to be filed. You want to make sure that your paperwork is bulletproof, because if you don't set up your paperwork properly in the beginning, it will cost you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands later in your journey. Number 2, come up with a business name that's very easy to understand for consumers. When you're in business for other contractors, when you're a subcontractor, you can name your company anything you want. You can name it after your initial construction, exteriors. Any name will work because nobody cares. People will remember you as long as you do good work. Now, when you go on your own and you're looking for your own jobs, if you can help people to remember your name, if you can help people to pass it on without thinking and Googling you, if it comes on top of their minds, you always will win. The rule here is less than more. So many people make this mistake in the beginning. You want to do as much work as possible because you're not going to have enough of whatever trade you're going after. So if you're a roofing contractor, flooring contractor, painting contractor, you're not going to get enough of work to keep you busy in the beginning. So as a mistake, so many gonna start listing those services. If you've seen those magnets behind trucks listing, tile, painting, flooring, roofing, if you're gonna try to convince to people that you do absolutely everything just because you're trying to be busy, you're gonna lose. Less is more. The more concise name will give you more jobs in that name, in that trade. Number 3, you have to get your accounting together. No more Excel spreadsheets, no more reconciling your bank accounts just at bank. You have to ask your QuickBooks, your accountant, how much money do you have? So many businesses of different sizes. As a matter of fact, at our conference, $30 million business owner claimed that he did not know how much money he has because his accounting was reporting to him wrong reports. What I'm telling you is this: when you're a sub, it's very easy to manage money. Money comes in, money goes out, very easy transaction. When you run a business, you have to know not how much money you have in the bank, but how much you have on the books. Two different numbers. You might be in a hole of $100,000 or $200,000 and not even know it because you think that your bank account is positive, and it might be positive. You might have $250,000 in a bank account, but in reality, you're in a hole of $200,000. So sign up for QuickBooks Online. That would be my recommendation. QuickBooks is absolute market leader for accounting software, not sponsored. We don't do anything with the QuickBooks, but I have been teaching QuickBooks in roofing school, and I have been using QuickBooks for years. One of the best softwares when it comes to accounting. Just like Google dominates the search, QuickBooks dominates accounting world software. Sign up for QuickBooks the first day after you open your business or even before that. You will not be sorry. It's always will help you in the future, and if you don't have your numbers together, sooner or later you'll get in big trouble. Number one reason businesses fail because they don't have financial education. Educate yourself, find someone who will explain to you profit and loss and how to read financial statements. It will never ever hurt you, it will only help. Number 4, you have to sign up for CRM. I highly recommend checking my friends at JobNimbus, company that sponsored this video. We absolutely love JobNimbus. Is this software that I used in my roofing business for 7 years. Highly recommend to anyone. But as a contractor, you cannot be successful in 2022 without good CRM. As a subcontractor, you can do business on paper. You get the work orders by email or printed. Once you're done, you send them, you file them. Easy workflow to manage. When you become a contractor, you have too many moving parts. You have to know your numbers. You have to make your crews and your employees accountable. You also have to track job progress. You have to track communication with the homeowners. It's too much to juggle. If you don't want to fail, highly recommend, sign up for CRM. Number 5, do your market research. So many people have messaged me or asked me in comments this question: Dmitry, where do I take a job? Well, you have to do market study, market research. What is it, you say? Well, let me explain. Let's say you want to sell watermelons. Go to local farmers market and see how much watermelons are going for. So you're gonna find a farmer who sells watermelon for $5 a piece. You can see in the van he's gonna have 1,000 of them. You do the math. He's gonna have 1,000 watermelons sold per day all summer long. He'll be making $5 grand a week or a day, whatever. You'll do the math. You just did a local market study. All you have to do, if you already know how to grow watermelons, you have to find that place where you can sell it. This is what market study, market research is. In 2022, you have online and you have a local market. All you have to do for online market study is type in your number one trade. What is it that you want to do? And put your city next to it. For me, it would be roofing Minneapolis. It could be drywall Dallas. And you're gonna see who is showing on the first page on Google, who is showing on the Facebook and Yelp and all the platforms out there. So make a big list. Where are people finding your competition right now? It's not rocket science. I recommend spend at least one day on the market search. It will save you years later, because in one day you will find out where people advertising. 90% of all online search happens on Google. If you just Google your services, roofers near me, roofing company near me, siding contractor near me, gutter companies near me, find all of those searches, Google them, and see what comes up and make a huge list. You should have 30 plus online options for you. Then we're gonna go to local market. Ask yourself this question, or maybe do a research. What's the most popular TV station in your city? Only you gonna know. It differs by market. So in my city, I know my local TV stations that are super popular. I know my radio shows. I know my local sport teams. I know where expos, we have 4 or 5 expos. You know, we have US Bank Stadium here. I know when Home and Garden show is happening. Ask yourself, where is it all taking place? And maybe before you even open the business, go and visit that expo. As a consumer, do secret shopper, if you will. Go in, walk around, see how many of your competition is there presenting at that expo. How many people supporting your teams? How many people given to charities? What kind of community activities is taking place and how you can participate at? What's our newspapers that are popular and not dead yet? So all of that is going to be your market research. So first we have to identify, okay, here's 50 ways where I can advertise. You should have 20 plus here, 30 plus online. Now we're going to go to the next question is, how much are you willing to do? Just because your competition is doing something does not mean that you have to do it. So if you have a list of 50 to choose from, so let's say your competition is using yard signs, like for example, Andy's Roofing from Indianapolis, he's using thousands and thousands of yard signs. So you did your market study, you see that your biggest competitor in town using 1,000 yard signs. He knows everybody hates his yard signs on the highway. Ask yourself these questions. Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to do what it takes to put him out of business? Are you willing to wake up every morning and drop a couple hundred yard signs in your town? If the answer is no, go to the next option. Just because someone is doing something does not mean that you have to copy them. I see this problem all the time. You see your competition is doing door knocking and you're like, they're doing door knocking, we should do door knocking. And then next thing you know, you start hiring people and pushing them to do door knocking. Well, you're not a door knocker, you're not willing to do it. Guess what? Your employees, your salespeople not going to be willing to do it, or they will not be as successful. You have to be passionate about it. Just because your competition doing Facebook ads does not mean you're going to be successful. They probably figured it out, and you, because you don't have a passion for it, you don't have a charisma, you don't have what it takes yet, and not willing to sacrifice and go extra mile, you will not figure it out. So figure out what you willing to do versus them. Some companies spend 10% or more on marketing. So you can't say like, oh, this company gets a lot of jobs from TV ads. Of course they're successful. Well, guess what? If you're loaded, if your parents give you nice inheritance and you have a couple $100,000 to blow up, well, if you're willing to spend 10% on TV ads, guess what? You can be like one of those companies. If you have a budget, if you have a desire and you're okay with that. So like I said, there's a lot of things that your competition is doing. It's not a rocket science to reverse engineer their success, but it's all about what you are willing to do. Do the market study and ask yourself and write down what are you willing to do from the market study you just finished. It should take you about a day. If you're not willing to spend a day on the market research and asking yourself some hard questions, you should not be even opening a business, because you cannot figure it out later. You have to figure out in the beginning. I firmly believe this is more important than even your business plan. So many people write a business plans and they claim or try to do $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year, and then they don't know how to. This is how you get to any business plan out there. If you need my help, I help my students all the time in the roofing school with the things like this. Some people can do it because it comes natural to them. Some people need extra help. Step number 6, you have to invest in presentation. Something that will help you to present in front of the homeowners at their kitchen table or remotely. I don't care how you do it. Some people do it remotely via Zoom, some people do it in-house presentation, but the reality is in 2022, if you want to be successful, you cannot write estimates on napkins. You cannot email it either. You have to be professional, no handwriting estimates, no templates from Walmart. You have to be presentable. You have to know how to show people what you do and give them enough reasons to hire you over your competition, especially if you're first year. I understand that you have subcontractor mentality. When you're a sub, you sell on a price. Builders and contractors will buy from you just because your work is good and your rate is fair. For the consumers, it's not enough. They want to be confident. They want to see your job. They want to see that you're organized not only in a job, but you're organized in office. And how they gonna know it if you don't have a presentation? I recommend looking into something like sumoquote. I've been recommending sumoquote for years, one of the best presentation platforms out there. It'll help you build something quick and easy. You will be professional right off the bat. If you invest in something like sumoquote, it'll take you maybe a couple weeks to get used to it, but when you do, I promise you, you will never be the same, you will not regret it, and it will help you close more jobs and sell at a higher price too. Number 7, probably one of the most important things you have to do when you start a brand new business is differentiate yourself in the market. Ask yourself, what kind of products can I sell that my competition does not sell? What kind of services have less competition and higher profit margins? If you're talking about exterior remodeling services, I would argue that it's more profitable to do services like repairs, maintenance. Gutters are more profitable and has less competition. When you go after a smaller niche, you don't have 3,000 competitions that officially are your competition. You might have only 50 because so many people are not willing to do what's hard. Also, if you pick smaller niche products, because last thing you want is to be one of the 5 estimates with the same product as other 4. You're brand new. People don't know about you yet. You don't have reputation, you don't have tons of reviews, and you don't have years in business. But if you sell something like F-Wave, if you sell something like Malarkey shingles and everybody else sells bigger brands like Certainty or Owens Corning, you might be very different just because of that. Also, if you're immigrant, if you have accent, if you're a minority, if you're a woman-owned business, all of those things are not bad things, they are good things. They set you apart from your competition. It's good to be different in business. Embrace the difference, embrace your accent. Come up with something unique that people will remember about you. Don't make it just about the business. I understand you want to sell the job, but people buy from people they like. People buy from people like themselves. Be personal, develop personal brand. Ask yourself why your friends and family like you. Don't ever make it all about roofing or gutters or what you do. Develop a personality, pick the brands and products you believe in. Don't go for the masses, don't go for the biggest brands. I've made that mistake and I wanted to do business with the biggest brands, and to be honest with you, looking back, I'm thinking about it was a mistake. Today, I travel to so many new businesses. Like last year, we visited Alan in Pennsylvania. He is killing it with Atlas brand. And when I asked him why Atlas, he said because everybody else sells different stuff and I'm the only one offers Atlas. In Houston, Texas, we visited last year TrueWorks Roofing, and they install Malarkey shingles. The same reason, because they believe in a product, competition does not offer it, and when you're different, people will remember you, and you don't compete just on the price. They also might pay you a little bit more if they believe that you have a better product. We're not advertising F-Way here. I just wanted to put something on my table just to show you that you can install something like this. And as a matter of fact, you can be #1 installer in your town for something like F-Wave without selling hundreds. You know, I would argue you can install 10 roofs a year with F-Wave and claim to be #1 installer of F-Wave shingles in so many markets today. It's when you become a specialist in smaller niches, that's where you truly become different. Comment below, guys, what you think about this video. I read all my comments and I try to help as many people as possible. If you want to schedule a call with me, you have to join roofing school. You know, we start pretty affordable at $99 a month. You can cancel anytime. If you want my help to grow your business, you know, I would love to jump on the calls with you every single week, do market research, market study, and help you brainstorm how you can have successful first year in business, because that's probably going to be one of the hardest too. Thank you guys so much for your attention. Give it a like if you like this kind of content on this channel. I'll see you in the next video.